is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Metal Era channel. And today we have a quick space hosted by Metallicus, which gives us a quick update on things to come regarding marketing and interviews and other things that are in the works for Metallicus.
How's it going, Paul?
Oh, it's all on. It's all happening at once.
Have you cloned yourself yet?
We're working on it in the lab. First we're starting with Marshall clones.
True.
I think they're most pressing at the moment, but yeah, maybe clones on chain, eh?
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been a little while since we've hosted one of these, but it is a Friday and we got a lot achieved this week, so we thought we'd spend a little time updating you on some stuff. I'm gonna chat through a few things on the brand front that I'd like to share with everyone, which is quite exciting, and then Paul's going to dip in and he's got some updates about XPR Network and Metal L2. So without further ado, we'll kind of kick it off. I think a few people have noticed we've had some brand updates across the board. Some of them have been rolled out to, you'll see our X accounts. So I think Metallicus, MetalPay, WebAuth, and a couple of others, but we have done all of the work for every brand, very much led by Ivan, who has done a lot of the creative designing and was inspired by some stuff Paul was doing with AI, as usual. But we're very, very excited. I think, we talk a lot about how Metallicus has got such a broad product portfolio and often can be complicated for the consumer, for the institution, for the developer, because we've built so much, right? We've got this vision of building everything on a blockchain that we'd need to plug into traditional finance. And a big part of that is the visual identity, to really help tell the story and for everyone to understand of how everything's interconnected, right? So our goal ultimately is to create this funnel that allows people to find and use our products and move seamlessly between them, whether that's from getting your WebAuth wallet for the first time and connecting to MetalX, or whether it's using the lending protocol or on-ramping through MetalPay. We really want to create this cohesive vision that pulls everything together. So when you look at a Metallicus product, it's from us. And I think this recent rollout has really, really achieved it. A few things went into it. There is a fantastic book, which I would recommend everyone to read, by a guy called Chris Dixon, who's a partner at Andreessen Horowitz. And it's called Read, Write, Own. And I read it recently and learned of a term called skeuomorphism. And fundamentally what skeuomorphism is it is a design principle where when we design interfaces, we design things to resemble real life objects. So a very, very simple and early explanation of this is like the trash can, right? On Windows or on Mac, where we designed a trash can because we have that familiarity of, if something is trash or, we don't want it anymore, we put it in a trash can. And in the same way, we do that from a file sense. So, files we don't want, or our desktops are cluttered with screenshots. It's very intuitive to design in this way. And we'd been thinking a lot about this because, blockchain is still inherently very complicated. And I spend a lot of time with family members and friends, and they'll go, yo, what is blockchain? But at the same time, it's very, very simple. And obviously, I think everyone that's here very much understands blockchain and how it works. So what we really tried to do was use this concept of skeuomorphism to show what the digital banking network would look like if we could see blockchains. And I kind of flashed to that horror film where it's like, I see dead people. But if you hop to the Metallicus profile, you'll see we've got this beautiful Twitter header, which is going to be rolled out. There's a lot more than Twitter headers, by the way. We're working on an entire redesign of the site, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But you'll see this sphere, and this came from some work Paul was doing with using AI to generate these different patterns. And then one thing led to another. And then Rocker One built us this custom tool. And the thing that we really like about these visuals and these waves is, you've got all of these dots in this spherical shape, which, we are skeuomorphizing as the digital banking network. And what we love about it is you've got all of these dots or nodes or individuals that are very much in harmony with one another. They're all equidistant, but it's also fluid too, right? Like it can move, new people can join the network, new institutions can join, whether it's a credit union, a bank, a developer, an individual, a metal pay user, a WebAuth user. And it just really visualizes what it is, right? Everyone is in harmony, but they've also got this space between one another where if they want to transact, they can, right? So they've got that safety of self-custody. They hold their own private key. They choose whether to connect their wallet to a third-party application or a credit union or an exchange or so forth. So we're really excited about it. And if you jump to, say, another X profile, you go to Metal Blockchain, we've also taken this concept of you've got the broader network, right, which is the sphere, the digital banking network. But then you've also got the landscape of different products and how they all build this sphere. So across waves, you've got Metal Blockchain. And a little bit on the color front, you've obviously got the entire gradient as part of the Metallicus broader identity. But then as we generate these waves, we pull out these individual gradients, say Metal Blockchain, and have that gradient dedicated to the wave patterns that we have in different formats. And one of the main reasons, this is very kind of like creative direction and stuff, but actually one of the main reasons that we did all of this work is we are very much in the the camp of efficiency at Metallicus, and we have these incredible tools like AI, and what we really want to do is focus our design team's efforts on improving the product experience, improving UI, improving UX. And if we haven't got the framework to be able to create these assets that we need for social posts, for Twitter headers, and so forth, it can be very time consuming. So what we've done is we've built these tools, we've built this framework so that shipping these things is very, very easy. And let's take it even one step further. The plan for rolling this out is to give the community and to give developers and give institutions access to all of these assets, so then you can go and create your versions, but ensure that it cohesively fits in with the broader brand identity. One of the things that often I think we can improve on, and this fundamentally comes from myself and from the team, is that we need to be consistent when we're using brand assets, because if we're not, we dilute our brands, and that consistency really keeps everyone in the funnel. And yeah, we're very, very excited by it. So huge kudos to Ivan, Paul, Remy for pulling this together. There are a few documents that we have. I think we had a brand document that was on the site, which we're in the process of updating at the minute. And we plan to roll this out so you can learn a little bit about the process, skeuomorphism, and where we've gone in this direction. So super, super excited. You'll see that the kind of core color is this navy backdrop, which, navy is very, very synonymous with traditional banking and traditional finance. But then we've also kept that soul of Metallicus's gradients, which, I think I saw a tweet earlier today saying like blue reminds me of Coinbase, pink reminds me of Uniswap. And it's like, well, limiting ourselves to individual colors is quite restrictive. And Metallicus has such a broad portfolio of products and solutions that gradients have always been a part of our DNA. So super excited about that. Without me waffling on about boring design stuff, I'll try and give you a few heavy hitting pieces that we're working on. We are working on an upgrade of Metallicus website. We have got, different sites across the board. And one thing that we really want to do is kind of have this central location that really tells this story that I've just kind of told from a design perspective. But you've got the digital banking network, which is this network of on-chain financial institutions. And then under that, we've got all of the products that Metallicus has built. So we've got an on-ramp, we've got a stable coin, we've got an exchange, we've got a wallet, we've got an identity protocol, we've got everything. And all of these things can not only be used for the retailer user and, our members as an individual, but they can also be used by financial institutions that would like to white label them as well. So as we, I'm sure everyone has seen that we've had some fantastic growth over the last few weeks, which is very exciting. And we're seeing a huge increase in MetalPay users, in people that are leveraging the DEX and creating WebAuth wallets. But we want to create this central place where people can come through and move between all of our product suites. So it's just easy to understand, it's easy to create accounts, and it's easy to onboard. So it's very much underway. I don't, obviously, as always, don't want to give a firm date of when we expect that to be finished, but I would love to have it done by the end of Q1. I think it's very, very important that we get this done. That your website is your front page on the internet, and in an online and on-chain economy, it's really important that vision is really well represented. So that's a big one that we're working on. Couple of other things as well from the product perspective. You've probably seen a few of the accounts talking about updates to WebAuth, updates to MetalX, and they are very, very much underway. Paul and I have been chatting a lot with Marshall about what the WebAuth experience looks like. And, as we bring more interoperability with third-party partners such as Velodrome, OkuTrade, and all of these guys, we want to make sure that we're also pushing the boundaries of what is possible with our products. So, we're looking at very much upgrading WebAuth, working on MetalX. It's been in the pipeline for a while, but bringing that seamlessness moving between the lending protocol and the exchange, and then how do we access different functions on the exchange, such as trading, lending? How do we categorize those different products, right? Are you trading? Are you earning because you're contributing in lending pools, yield farming, and so forth? So a lot to come on that front, which is very, very exciting. I'll probably open it up to Paul now, who I think wants to. He's got a couple of surprises, I think, that he wants to share with everyone. But yeah,
I do. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've got anything particularly exciting or new. You kind of building me up for failure there, Will. I appreciate that one. But no, I mean, there's heaps has happened since the start of the year. I mean, I could run over. Oh yes, we do have an announcement. Yes, I thought you might drop that. Yes. Well, yeah. Let's start there. So, for those of you that let's start with the middle L2 side. So for those of you that have been on Velodrome and have tried connecting your WebAuth wallet and tried to use the Velodrome with middle L2, generally it works great, but some of you may have noticed that when you get to the point of converting your XVelo to Velo using the bridge, you get a little error with the wallet. So the reason for that error is because the WebAuth wallet did not support op mainnet, and we are proud to say that it's coming hopefully next week. So Webull will finally support the op mainnet, which will make the velodrome experience just so much smoother. It'll allow everyone to connect to, dApps and dexes that use op mainnet. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of stuff that we want to bring to Optimism, and I think naturally this is a really good next progression for that. So yeah.
So yeah, I mean that kind of moves me on to the next point of with velodrome. So yeah, I'd really love to spend a bit more time with the community and explain sort of how this works and the process behind it, and how the voting works and all these things, because it is a little bit confusing if it's kind of like your first time. But for those that remember, this velodrome integration was part of the proposal on the metal DAO, and as part of that proposal, there were substantial metal incentives. So these incentives are allocated and rewarded to people that vote for the pools on Metal L2, right? So if you are interested in exploring, this new and exciting world of DeFi over on the Optimism superchain, the velodrome experience is an interesting one, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to spend a bit more time. Maybe I'll do a video on that, sort of explaining to people, because if you do want to get involved, it's worth like understanding it like start to finish, and knowing the best way to get those incentives, right? Because the incentives are there for the community, and I just want to make sure everyone fully understands how to get them, basically. What else? So yeah, on the Metal L2 front, the Oku trade integration is coming soon. We have been pretty focused on the velodrome integration, but Oku is up next. We also have the Ionic Money integration, which should be happening this quarter, which is really exciting. Sort of bringing a lending protocol to Metal L2, and we are looking at the Morpho stuff, the Morpho lending protocol. So that's exciting. That's pretty much it from the Metal L2 front. On XPR network. Oh yeah, first I just want to say thanks to everyone for watching my videos, and of course like sharing and commenting and just running it up in the algorithm, because that's been really helpful, and it's really encouraging me to get in there and make more videos. So yeah, if you haven't already, go to my profile and see I've done a bunch of clips which kind of compares XPR versus Ripple XRP versus Ethereum, and I'm probably going to take all those sort of 1 minute clips and put them into a like a 10-minute YouTube video once they're complete. At the top of my profile, I've also got now this I did this video based on community requests. So people wanted a video about MetalX lending, kind of how it works, step by step. I tried my best to get as much information in as I could in a short amount of time. No one wants to sit there and watch a 20-minute long boring video, so I try to get it in under 10 minutes. But yeah, if you've got any feedback, chuck it in the chat. I read all the comments. I do take all the advice, and yeah, I just want to know what you guys want, and I'll make those videos. So yeah, that's been fun. On the XPR network, so we've got 2 new block producers. I think this year we've got Ubiquity and Cat's Vote. You can go check them out on the Explorer. You should see them. Make sure you're on the mainnet page, and you should scroll down and see their websites and see their social handles. Just remember, if you are in the XPR network and you are staking, you get to choose 4 block producers, right? I do recommend going through these you can choose by random. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever to your rewards. However, I do encourage you to go onto the explorer.xprnetwork.org and go through all of the block producers and check out their socials and just see what they're up to, see how involved they are, and yeah, move your votes around. It's it's good to help some of the new BPs on the scene. There are a couple. I think there's like 3 other block producers that are on testnet now, waiting to come onto mainnet. So we're close to 35 block producers now, I think. So, or once everyone's on mainnet, so it's pretty exciting. It's bringing more competition, more redundancy, more decentralization. It's great. So yes, what else? Oh yeah, the mini hackathon. So congratulations to Jesse the Great. They are the winner of $500 in XPR. It, we entrance is basically still open. We extended it until March 31st because I'm not going to lie, Jesse was the only submission of with any substance. So yeah, congrats to Jesse the Great. But yeah, we have extended it until March 31st. So I encourage you, like, if you're a developer or you're just curious about development, I encourage you to go and deploy the Mint Me example project and just try and get that running. Basically, what it is, it's just a front end that interfaces with a smart contract that kind of creates like a ticketing system. And you could use this for a game or like anything, like whatever. Like the user of the minting project basically say buys 3 tickets for 1,000 XPR, say, and then the user can use those tickets up like as a play or as a turn. And in this example, it's just minting a AI generated NFT based on the XPR username. So it's a bit of fun if you're technically inclined or you just want to have a play. It's an interesting one. Remember, it's an easy $500 if no one else makes a submission. We've got 3 prizes of $500 of XPR. So yeah, it's worth jumping in. What else? XPR checkout has had a lot of updates. Rocket One is working diligently to get that all up to standard for WordPress, the official WordPress repos. So if you go into like the admin panel, the back end for like a WordPress installation, you go to plugins. Normally, if it's an official plugin and it's reached all the strict standards and you passed all the tests, then you get to go into that cool little marketplace. And if someone searches, crypto checkout or accept crypto, then XPR checkout would be in one of those lists, and then we can start promoting that in other places. You got Advato or whatever it's called. All these other repos that require you to have your plugin in the official WordPress store. On that XPR checkout, on that WordPress checkout front, we're also working on a standalone, or Rocket is working on a standalone widget. So we've had a few requests for people that want to accept crypto using the Weblock wallet and using XPR, but they don't have a WordPress installation, or their website isn't WordPress based. So imagine just being able to have a widget that you can have, like whether it's an iframe or a JavaScript package or whatever it is, making it super simple to accept crypto on your website, regardless of the back or front end code, right? Within reason. I think we are revisiting the Shopify plugin side of things because last year they had closed all applications to be a payment plugin into Shopify. So that was kind of like a roadblock. But we're still working on that. So yeah, news to come.
That's really exciting.
Yes.
I think obviously a big part of the entire vision, right, is these payment merchants that are charging an astronomical amount of people's cash to process payments. And obviously blockchain, the key part of this is to alleviate that lower latency. So we have built the stack that essentially works from the back end perspective, and now it's how do we start paying with things. So I know that there's a few people that are interested. I know quite a few of Marshall's contacts are very keen to get it integrated into their websites, whether it's at restaurants, whether it's e-commerce sites as well. So yeah, all of these things are really going to bring more activity to the network and allow you to check out and pay with WebAuth, which is just insane. Back to you, Paul.
Yeah, It really is. What else? Oh yeah, the Doge community in the governance dash. So this was something new that Marshall Hayner, our CEO, it was his idea to come up with this public place where you could talk about upcoming whether they're bills or whatever that proposed in front of the Senate or the House or however it works. How could you allow people to vote on chain, transparently, and ensuring that, like, rather than it being based on like how much of a token you own, maybe just have a particular strategy. Because in the governance dash you can have different strategies, right? You could have one strategy is like based on how many XPR tokens are staked, and one could be based on how many loan tokens are staked or whatever. This new strategy is based on it's one user per KYC account, right? So, or one vote. So I think that it's a really interesting new unique strategy that's kind of like based on human participation rather than like how much of a token you own. So it's good for gauging like public sentiment and things like that. So I encourage anyone to go make some submissions in there. Just go check it out. We'll probably do like a video about it and go into a little bit more detail. But yeah, that's really exciting. I think, Will, did you mention we're working on some new UI UX stuff? Like, I don't know if we mentioned around the lending front.
Yeah.
Working on some stuff around there. We really want to make it. We think this world of decentralized finance and decentralized lending and borrowing, it's really going to become just massive. Like, I think so much bigger than we can comprehend right now. And I think, making we've got this fantastic interface and there's so many options, but not everyone knows what to do when they see greeted with this page of a million options. So some of the things we want to do is work on some kind of wizard and to help guide people through the process and just make it easier.
We've talked. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
We've another really cool thing that I think we've talked about as we look at the products a lot more is the blend of traditional finance interfaces that people are used to, whether it's Fidelity accounts or traditional finance lending platforms. Like, how can we skim up and reframe MetalX lending as it is now? So, right, can we strip out just the dedicated Bitcoin lending? You've got so many companies in the space now that are essentially doing individual parts of what Metallicus offers in its entirety, right? So you've got, say, a company called Figure Markets, right, which is kind of very much focused on just Bitcoin lending, like deposit your Bitcoin and earn an APY on this. And I think in some instances they are centralized, whereas we've got this decentralized side of things. So we're exploring just different ways of kind of taking this incredible back-end infrastructure that we've got and reframing, individual pieces that make it really intuitive. So someone who maybe isn't into digital assets yet, who, isn't used to going onto a DeFi platform, connecting their wallet, adding collateral, how can we make that so simple? Like, how can we strip out just, say, the individual Bitcoin lending contract, give that a front end interface, and allow them to leverage it, right? And it allows us to market it as a product in a very different way, right? Now we're not just marketing a DeFi lending platform, we're marketing an individual Bitcoin DeFi solution, which is pretty cool. None of these things are really set in stone, just very much exploratory, which we've been talking about for a little while as well, which is really cool. So anything that you see on the product front that you like, whether you think we've already got it within our stack already that we can pull together, always get in touch, right? You guys also help us shape the way the product should look as well, which is why I think a lot of the social accounts recently have been asking you about, what features do you want? How do you want the wallet to look? How do you want the exchange? What are your pain points? And I'm going to segue a little bit here. And I think, I see Frank back, is this is why we've seen so much success, right, with the Metal Blockchain Banking Innovation Program in TDBN, is that so many people in the industry built these things and tried to sell them before they'd even spoken to the institution. And the way that we've done things differently is we've brought these guys into the innovation program, and we're meeting with them so frequently to kind of understand what it is that is going to help them streamline their operations and give them products that they actually want to use, as opposed to ones that that they've been sold that don't really help anything. Yeah.
On the front of updated new looks, some of you may have noticed the sneak peek of the new Explorer, probably last week or whatever. It's currently not available from the front end unless you know the URL. But if you'd like to help beta test it, feel free to jump on new-explorer.xprnetwork.org and have a play around. Feel free to DM me any bugs. We're working really hard to identify issues and sort of get them fixed. But it has been a massive undertaking for the devs. The whole point of this is to update the framework to something very, very modern and set us up for success in the coming years. To make a really cool Explorer. One thing, I've been jumping around various blockchains and trying the different tech because I've been heads down in the whole XPR network scene for so long, and then stepping out of that and looking at some of the other chains, it's really we have so much power from a user or from a developer's point of view from that Explorer. You can do so many things and interact with the various smart contracts and check out the various actions. It's just not as user friendly and just not as powerful on almost every other chain I've tried. So it's really interesting. The more you go out there and actually try various different Explorers for different blockchains.
Yeah. Jumping in here, a couple of things people always ask, how can you help? We are, as a team, I say marketing team, we're very much focused on sales and business development at the minute, right? We've got the stack now. It's who can connect, who can build with us, how do we bring the interoperability, how do we support other chains, how do we support other applications? We would love it if people could use CipherCard. CipherCard is an awesome application, and since we have launched Ethereum support for WebAuth, you can now connect to pretty much any Ethereum-based application that has Wallet Connect, which we're very, very excited about. Self-custody is, such an important part. And the fact that WebAuth supports Ethereum, we're kind of eliminating the need to have other wallets. So with CipherCard, you can generate a debit or credit, a debit card from their platform, and you can spend directly from that card. And obviously, from a business development perspective, it'd be really cool to showcase them, to showcase the community, leveraging these products and showing that there's a demand for it as well. Big one on CipherCard front. Sorry for cutting you off there, Paul.
Kind of lost. What was I saying that last one? What were we talking about just before then? Explorer, yes.
Yeah.
So please DM me any bugs you come across, and we're looking to get that updated. One last thing on the developer front, the Web SDK and all the what's the other one? React Native SDK. Rock is going through and updating those. I'm sure some of you, and same with the documentation. If you are a developer and you've been in there, you've probably seen some of the old domain names, maybe not pointing to the right API endpoints or whatever. Some of the repos are a little bit out of date, so he's working to get those up to date. I think that was it. Rocket One's working on a zero to hero developer guide. So it will kind of guide you, if you are interested in looking at XPR Network and getting involved. He's working on an awesome guide, just like other blockchains have, kind of like how to start as a beginner and where to go as a pro. And the final thing is, we're finally on XPR Network anyway, over 60,000 followers, which took us ages to get past. I think it was like 58. But in the last couple of weeks, we've just shot up like crazy. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone in the community for just all the sharing, all the commenting, all the support on all of the accounts, not just the XPR network. Everything. It's just been super helpful and really helps us in the algorithm. So yeah, shout out to everyone in the community. You know who you are. It's too many to name. But yeah, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's pretty much all I've got from my end.
Cheers, man. Yeah, there's tons going on. Often too much to share in one Twitter space. I think let's see, just to keep it flowing, did Coca request to speak? Maybe he could ask us a couple of questions. I'll let him know. Let's see if we can get him up there. Yo, yo, yo.
Hey guys, good to hear from you. I know you guys are really busy, and the other thing that people probably can't understand is that there's a lot of stuff you guys can't talk about, right? Until it's okay to talk about it. So hang in there and understand that this is probably one of the hardest working teams in the world in any industry. And we've seen the fruition of their work, and what they say they're going to do, they do. So just understand that. One question I have, and you did mention it earlier, is what can we do? What as we as a community,
For sure.
if we had a little bit more guidance, it would probably be easier for us to help. We do a lot of guesswork. And think, oh, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that.
Sure.
And a real good contact point for us to talk to somebody about the great ideas and things that we feel we can do. I lucked onto a really good thing last night, and I would like direct contact with somebody that can make some decisions. How would we go about that?
For sure. I apologize for my word salad earlier, but let's just jump back to CipherCard real quick. CipherCard, you can easily create an account. You can use your WebAuth wallet. I've tagged them. If not, I'll drop them on a tweet after this, so you can check my X profile. But with CipherCard, you can connect your WebAuth wallet through Wallet Connect. What you need to do is here, make sure you've selected the Ethereum network, and then obviously have it loaded up. And then from there, you're able to generate a debit card, as I said. So like things like this, just looking at the areas that we're looking to partner with, or obviously MetalPay Connect is our B2B on-ramp, right? Like the original iteration is MetalPay as an on-ramp. But then obviously we've got the B2B element of that. And I think a couple of things that we've been sharing, right, is very soon with the digital banking network, you will be able to onboard directly from your account or your credit union on chain, which is completely proprietary, right? There's not really anyone in the industry that has anything like this. So our goal at the minute is to bring this connectivity to as many people as possible. We just want to make sure that people can get on chain, they can bring their fiat, they can use crypto. And MetalPay Connect is very much a facilitator of that. So as I mentioned, when we're saying use these products, go and drum up some excitement around them, show them the demand for it, because at the end of the day, any BD contact or any other company is going to want to see the demand, right? The first thing normally when we have these conversations is how much volume, what's being used, how many users. So this is probably one of the best ways to do it. And honestly, I don't think we need a guide for Cypher. It's so easy. Go to their website, launch the app, select Ethereum in WebAuth, connect your wallet, bridge assets to Ethereum, and you'll be able to use it. And they have said as well, I believe on their website, that it will always be free to generate their debit card, which you can add with Apple Pay on there. Use our products. We have got a amazing referral program for MetalX. Granted, it's a little bit hidden away in the UI, and we're very much aware of that, and we're working on it. If you don't know where it is, it's within the fees section. You've got a code that you can generate. You've got a link. Paul has just created some awesome new gift cards as well. So that whole gift card sharing thing, I see Jade and a bunch of you guys that are always using those, but 100% use them. And a big thing as well, I think, is just really representing ourselves well out there. Granted, we know that there are projects out there that maybe have greater followings and bigger pieces of the pie that maybe aren't as good technology as Metallicus has. But yeah, just making sure we're spreading the good word, but spreading the good word not from an asset perspective, but just because the technology works better. There is literally no better chain to trade on than XPR Network and MetalX. It's instant. There's no gas fees. The entire user experience is super intuitive. So yeah, very much would just encourage you to use the products. We have seen a huge development in marketing from the launch of new platforms and tools and automation platforms. But fundamentally, and I've said this since I joined Metallicus about 4 years ago, there's nothing better than word of mouth. Marshall pays his barber in crypto. I'm doing a little bit of traveling at the minute and getting tuk-tuk drivers to get Webauth to pay them in that, because why should they be paying 4% fees on Stripe when they can be taking 100% of the cash that they've earned? And I think that kind of speaks volumes for what the vision of the company is that, and Marshall said it many times before, is that money should work for us. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, Coca.
The other question I had, which is kind of important for me at the moment, is when is Visa card going to be attached or extended to the Metal Pay app in Australia?
No real updates on that for the minute. A lot of these things are always in the roadmap down the line. It would be fantastic to have a card that you can spend from your Metal Pay account, but very, very much in the backlog.
Yeah. Can we have a bank account attached soon? I can't get money into it. That's my main problem at the moment. So I have to go somewhere else to buy.
Into what? You have Metal Pay, right? So you can onboard from your debit or credit card.
Yeah, but only in Australia, it's only MasterCard, and that narrows.
Got you. There's stuff coming. We're working on it diligently. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of as much as I can say. I'm gonna invite DeFi King up to ask a couple of questions, and then we'll probably have to wrap it up because we've got a meeting to get to, Paul and I. DeFi King, I've seen some of your videos, so we really appreciate content creators supporting the network.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've been using the products ever since I found Metallicus, so I know firsthand how smooth it is. The question I had is, you guys had a mixer or something like that in New York?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to know, what can you talk about? What happened?
For sure.
I know, obviously, there's some redacted things going on there, but anything you can talk about there, and if you plan on having more, or what happened?
Definitely, yeah. That was a press trip. So Arena, myself, and our publicist headed to New York to meet with a bunch of publications. We were due to have a live stream And unfortunately, there was a plane crash which derailed things, which obviously is far more important than what we had going on at that point. But we are very much working to reschedule those. But we met with a bunch of producers. I'm not going to name titles, but we had meetings with 3 different producers of media titles that have live streams, some that we've done before. We met with some journalists, and then we had a mixer at the Bitcoin pub, which, if you have not been to the Bitcoin pub in New York City, PubKey, I would highly, highly recommend. The place is awesome. You can pay with Bitcoin. There's a ton of Bitcoin memorabilia in there. I think Donald Trump was there about a couple of months ago, and he paid for a burger with Bitcoin, which was pretty cool. But yeah, we had a mixer. We had a bunch of friends of Metallicus there. Some guys from Masari were there. They were a really cool bunch. Check out Masari. Masari's a cool analytics platform across blockchain. So we had a really good chat with them, which was cool. But yeah, just spreading the good words, pitching in person. It's very, very important. And also staying lean, right? Like, that cost us nothing. You'll see a lot of people are throwing grand summits, and we like to stay efficient with the work that we do. On the conference front, we do have some people going to ETH Denver from the team, which is really exciting. So ETH Denver is a heavy developer focused conference. You're going to see a lot of EVM based projects there, which obviously, with Metal blockchain being EVM compatible and Metal L2 being part of the super chain, we're really excited about that from a business development perspective. But yeah, New York trip was fantastic, and we have got a lot of very exciting media things in the pipeline over the next couple of months, with hopefully one group of events happening in April, which I hope to be able to share with you very, very soon. Which, if I was to try and give a little bit of juice, I don't think anyone from blockchain or crypto has done this event before, and it's huge. They've got about 2 million subs, and the stature of what it is just spectacular. So yeah, big focus on PR this year. You've got the likes of Coinbase, who spend $100 million a quarter on marketing, whereas I think a huge testament to the Metallicus team is we've done a lot without spending like that, because acquisition costs and cost of acquisition can be astronomical in the crypto space, because it's very lucrative user base. It can be very expensive to acquire a customer, but we believe that we've got the tools to be able to do it organically, which I think we have. Paul was mentioning there about crossing some milestones with the XPR network account, but also Metallicus is just absolutely charged towards 10K. Metal blockchain is charging towards 10K, and ultimately these things really happen exponentially. So, we're refining our paid spend. We've got some paid ads coming out for Metal Pay. I tell you one thing that is probably coming quite soon that I can drop, but we are going to be bringing a web version of MetalPay very soon. So you will be able to onboard through the browser without having to get the app, which is a big part of that cohesive vision for everything and how it plugs into all of these different applications. But yeah, I went a bit off tangent again, but yeah, New York was fantastic. Big PR plans for this year. If you see any content creators or podcasts that you'd like us to be on, send them to us. We are very niche. So, if I don't respond or say it's not right, it's nothing personal. We're just very strategic with the audiences that we speak to. It's a very, very delicate environment, speaking with the right titles. And I think we're seeing the landscape of media change very, very quickly. So yeah, appreciate that question.
Yeah, awesome. Appreciate the answer. I just had, 2 more questions, whatever you could say about this, obviously. You guys had the interview with Kyle Hoffman kind of fall through last year. I know you guys were looking to reschedule that. Is there anything you can say on that front? And then,
Nothing,
okay,
nothing right now on that, unfortunately. Yeah, yeah.
okay. And then as far as you guys' acquisition of Bonify, um, was that just a one-off thing? Are you guys looking into more strategic acquisitions? And then is there anything you can say about the application for FBBT and the federal bank charter?
No, on the latter. On the first, I can talk a little bit about Bonify, but yeah, we're absolutely delighted to bring the Bonify team close to Metallicus. John Ainsworth is a big part of Metallicus now and that vision, and he is a veteran of the credit union space. He has been instrumental with a lot of the work that he's been doing with Frank. As you know, we expand the digital banking network, and you've probably seen that we announced some additional credit unions recently as well. But yeah, very, very excited to have Bonify on board. So if you're not following John, he is on X. Off the top of my head, his handle is Bonify_John A. Give him a follow. I'm sure that he will be sharing some stuff very soon. He did just do a podcast as well with Frank, which was awesome. Really pleased to see Frank out there as well, doing media. But yeah, that's kind of it on that front. Obviously, we very much in the position that we like to build and ship before we announce things, and you know, it's a testament to what we've built so far. One thing that I do want to do is, because Paul and I come out here and we're, you know, BD, sales, marketing. Paul does a bunch of development stuff as well, but you know, huge kudos to the Metallicus engineering and development team. Too many names to list, but those guys are absolutely cranking right now. Like the amount of things that they are shipping, as the whole vision continues to develop, and we launch TDBN and bring all of this growth, whether it's adding Velodrome, whether it's adding OP support to WebAuth, like they are the number one development team in the space. It's funny, I was chatting to Marshall the other night about, you know, the size of the Metallicus team and the value that we bring across multiple products. But, you know, you look at a chain like AVAX, I believe they've got, you know, 300 and odd employees. You look at DYDX, 100 for the exchange. You look at Circle for a stable coin, and it's like, you know, we are a very, very lean but incredible company with, you know, definitely the best talent that I have ever worked in my entire career, let alone in blockchain and stuff. So yeah, big shout out to those guys. And I think Clint, one of our engineers, developers, is on Clint Gallivan. You can find him on X as well. If you hop on Metallicus, you can probably find the Metallicus affiliated employees. So make sure you go and give them a follow, give them some support. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I just want to say thank you guys for having me up here, and we really appreciate all the hard work. You guys are building magnificent tools for us to use, and we love using them.
Really appreciate it, man. Yeah, this was very impromptu. So while it hasn't had a real structure, we're just very happy that you're willing to jump on and listen to what we've got to say. It's a super, super exciting time. We have got a bunch of stuff coming, which is, you know, exciting, and we're always chomping at the bit to be like, it's more often than not, Paul, like, can we announce this yet? Can we announce this yet? It's like, you know, lots of really, really good things are coming, but very much in the product and experience space. You know, it's not hype. It's not about this old way of thinking within crypto. Like we're here to create products that make your lives better. So whether that's TDBN and Metal Pay, allowing you to onboard from directly from your credit union on chain, and we're able to lower the latency from that front, that's what we want, because, you know, we know ultimately that blockchain empowers finance, it empowers stable coins, it empowers the way we can send money to our friends and family, which is just so important. So appreciate your time. as always, we're only a DM away. We are very busy at the minute, so I'm sure if no one gets back to you, there's it's not intentional. We will always try our best to try and chat with you. But yeah, thanks so much for your time. Anything to add there, Paul?
No, not really. Just yeah, thanks again. And like Will was saying, yeah, use our products and things. I'd if you've got, you know, $100 on Metal L2 and you want to just get involved, you don't need to bring, you know, lots of your assets across just to have a play. So on Velodrome, I encourage you to just bring a small amount over, have a play, talk to us about give us any feedback on the experience, and it's just really helpful to find out what you guys think of the experience. So yeah, that's all from me.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a fantastic weekend. Appreciate your time.